yeah, it was just one of those things like after Bathurst where I was down ninth or something in the standings, and it was just like, right, let's just try and claw back as much as we can. Obviously the goal for every race is to try and win, but the championship wasn't even in our sights, so yeah, it was just one of those things where just felt like I made a fair bit of progression there in the mid part of the season, and then going into Adelaide, it was a three-way fight between all of us, and it was anyone's to win. So fortunate enough, we had a good car there, and it went our way.
This is the KTM Summer Grill. I'm Andrew Van Leeuwen, joined by Stefan Bartholomaeus and our 2024 Super 2 champion, Zach Bates. Zach, what a crazy season. I mean, there were times there where maybe the title didn't feel necessarily within reach, but then there was Bathurst and there was Adelaide, and here you are, the champion. How does it feel?
Yeah, no, first of all, thank you very much for having me on, boys. It's I've watched all of these, so it's cool to now be featuring on it. As you said, it was one of those things where it was just like, found myself in that position where I definitely didn't think I would. Going into Bathurst, it very much looked like Kai's to lose. So he had obviously his misfortunes and also my misfortunes at the start of the year at Bathurst there, where I got a penalty and also got caught up in that tangle there at Townsville. It was just one of those things like after Bathurst where I was down ninth or something in the standings, and it was just like, right, let's just try and claw back as much as we can. Obviously the goal for every race is to try and win, but the championship wasn't even in our sights, so it was just one of those things where just felt like I made a fair bit of progression there in the mid part of the season, and then going into Adelaide, it was a three-way fight between all of us, and it was anyone's to win. So fortunate enough, we had a good car there, and it went our way.
That must have been immensely satisfying coming out on top in that showdown in Adelaide, because obviously, Kai, the reigning champion, a guy already signed to go to the main game. Aaron Cameron has really proven himself as being an excellent race car driver. So to actually go there and win what was such a straight fight, that must have been a cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two guys are immensely talented. As you say, they've both got main game experience. Obviously Kai's off next year to race full time, so it's exciting for him. It was great to be able to have such a close battle. I mean, I think we were top three every single session, the three of us. So it was great. I mean, that last race was pretty exciting and super close. So it was great to come out on top, and it was just good, as obviously I'm leaving the Walkinshaw family, so it's a good way to kind of send that off.
Yeah, Zach, this was obviously your second season there in Super 2 with Walkinshaw. Probably in that first year you were a little bit overshadowed by your teammate Ryan Wood. What did you sort of focus on in that off-season, and where did the real gains for you come this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, having Woody as my teammate last year was probably the best thing that could have happened to me, in terms of having a guy there that had some crazy talent, but just kind of hit the ground running a little bit more than me. I think his previous experience kind of helped that, but nonetheless, he did a great job, and it was cool to be able to just, try and push myself to be at that level. So I think, he's gone into the main game, and I'm not surprised by the results in terms of, he's been in a lot of top 10 shootouts, and he's had a little bit of bad luck there, but nonetheless, he's doing a great job. And for me, it was great to be able to now go into the second season having learnt a lot off him from the first. I mean, when you say overshadowed, I think in one way, yes, but then in another, it was a great thing for me to be able to learn off a guy like that.
It had been for a team with a proud winning tradition like WAU, it had been a lean run for them in terms of titles. What was it like to deliver something like that for that team?
Yeah, obviously, extremely exciting. I think it's their first title in 15 years, so which is cool. And the other thing actually is that my engineer Rob Starr, obviously, he's been there for 33 years at Walkinshaw, and he's been through all the Scaife days and the Brock, and you name it. He's probably engineered or mechanicked on the cars. So it was very special to also get it done for him. Obviously, we've been working together for the last 2 years. It was extremely exciting. I think, obviously with the main game stuff, it hasn't been totally going their way. So, Super 2, it's been great to, fly the flag. And, as I say, obviously now parting ways with them, I think it was the perfect way to do so.
You've got a pretty exciting next chapter coming up, joining that 888 Super Cheap Auto Wildcard program alongside Craig Lowndes. We know that Will Brown played a little bit of a role in getting you to the team. Tell us about how that relationship with Will started, because we know it goes back a couple of years.
Yeah, it does. Will's been a great kind of, I suppose you call him a mentor, in terms of obviously the on-track stuff. He's obviously willing to give me a hand, but a lot of it is the off-track, experiences that he's had that he can hand down to me. He kind of met in 86s. Obviously, Will competed in the 86 series and was champion. We kind of, the other side of the family, the rally side of the family, kind of invited him when he was a lot younger to go to a skid pan or something like that, just to learn the basic car control when he was coming out of go-karts. He kind of just thought, give me a little bit of hand to repay the favour. He's been an incredible guy to have in my corner. To be able to, give him a call and just ask any questions is a very cool thing. So I'm extremely fortunate to have him there.
He was almost trying to help you out on the public relations front in Adelaide by accidentally kind of maybe spilling the beans about what you've got in the works for next season in terms of Super 2 stuff. Is there any more you can say on that as we sit here at the moment, where how your season's going to kind of look outside of the main game wildcard stuff?
Yeah, I was just talking how much Will's helped me, but in that situation he definitely didn't. Look, there'll be some things, we're working on some things. It'll come out shortly, but for now we're just still working through it all. So good old Will, you can always rely on him for stuff like that.
To be fair, he only said egg. He didn't say Eggleston, so he stopped himself
he must
halfway
have
through.
Eggs for breakfast.
That's it.
It's just eggs for breakfast. He likes his eggs.
Is it important, though, to be racing something through the season rather than just turning up cold there at the Bend 500 in September?
Incredibly important. Obviously I'm still a young guy learning my craft, and I've got plenty to learn. So it's extremely important to keep on racing in anything that I can. Obviously the jump from Super 2 to main game is, I'm sure I'll tell you after the Bend. I've got an incredible amount to learn. But I feel like I'm in good step, being in the 888 family. Being able to, rely on guys like Will, but also the engineering group there as well. So it's a very cool place to be. I haven't spent too much time there yet. I can already tell that it's a very professional place to be.
Are you sure we'll have to wait till the Bend to see you in that super cheap car? It does have a habit of showing up a little earlier than that.
Obviously it's a 3-round program. Like previous years, it's been a solo and then the 2 enduros. So still working through things about the solo round. So I'm sure that'll come out in the near future. But nonetheless, I'm be extremely excited for that solo round as well. It's obviously a great opportunity for myself to try and show that I'm capable of being there in the main game. So yeah, obviously just have to work as hard as I can to give myself the best opportunity to shine.
What was the process of kind of putting yourself in a position to be considered for the Super Cheap Wildcard program, and the thoughts on kind of that meaning you had to part ways with Walkinshaws, because there's obviously a close bond there given what you've been through the last couple of years?
Yeah, good question. Obviously there's a lot of talented young guys out there. So it's a fiercely competitive environment. I got a phone call from Jamie Whincup, which was pretty cool. It's one of those things when you're a kid watching him on TV, and then you see him, his number pop up on your phone. It's pretty cool. So yeah, we just had a chat. I went up to Triple Eight a couple months ago now, and just had a meeting with Jamie, and we just sat down and just had a chat about what we could potentially do. From one thing to another, it kind of just started to spiral and got closer and closer, and kind of got done around that Bathurst time. And but Will Brown's been super influential in making it all happen. I can't really thank him enough. He put in a good word for me.
Some people were probably a bit surprised that you are departing Walkinshaws at this time when they've just announced their Toyota deal, given obviously your family's history with Toyota. Was that something that played on your mind at all, or you just have to go where the opportunities are right now?
Yeah, I've had this question a lot. Obviously, I've got the last name, and the family heritage with Toyota has been a super long-standing relationship, probably one of the longest in Australian motorsport with a manufacturer. So that's definitely something to be pretty proud of. Nonetheless, it's extremely exciting to have Toyota joining the Supercars fold. I think it's absolutely great for the sport, and to be joining with Walkinshaw Andretti United as the kind of factory team, I suppose, is also exciting, and I think they're going to do a great job getting it all done. For me, obviously it's one of those things. I have the last name, yes, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of talented people out there, and the name can only get you so far. So for me, all I can do is try and focus on doing a good job next year, and whatever unfolds. Obviously, we know that there's going to be another team entering with the Supra. So look, there'd be nothing more than I'd love to drive a Supra in Supercars, but how that all unfolds, we've seen some crazy things happen in this sport over the time. So for me, I've just got to focus on what I can do.
Have you kind of drawn a big red ring around 2026 as the year that you want to be in the main game full time? Like, that's the way everything's trending. You've got the Super 2 title now. You've mapped out this really neat sort of pathway for next year. Is 2026 the year that you want to be ready to be on the grid full time?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as we've seen, the age of entering the top level of the sport's getting younger and younger. I think, obviously you got your young guys like Matt Payne, Woody, even Brody and Will, and obviously Brock Feeney as well. All these guys who have proved that they're definitely worth being there. I think, it's one of those things where you just need to make it happen pretty early. 26 is obviously, definitely be the goal to get a main game drive. I just need to focus on getting through 25 first, and putting my best foot forward. So, we've seen in the past, Cooper as well, joining next year. He did a great job this year in the wild card. As well as Brock also did the wild card back in the day. So, yeah, it's exciting, and I think it's a great place to be, to give myself the best chance.
Have you done any rallying at all? I think it's a question we have to ask, given your surname. Obviously, you're fairly committed to this path now, but how did you end up on this path instead of that path? And have you done much work on dirt?
No, I actually haven't, to tell the truth. I've done a speedway day just in an 86, and I've done a lot of skid pan work, but nothing like what my cousins do. Obviously, Harry just wrapped up the Australian Championship, not last weekend, the weekend before, which is very exciting. And obviously Lewis, my other cousin, got third, and he won the Australian Championship a couple years ago. So, it's definitely something that I'd be interested in doing. But for now, all my focus just needs to be, attended to Supercars. So if there was ever an opportunity to, jump in a rally car and just, learn, I think I'll do some stuff next year. There's a little front wheel drive Honda Civic sitting in the corner of the workshop that I've kind of put my name on. So, it's just, it's great. As we talked about earlier, it's about that continuous driving, whatever driving it is. It's just important to, keep on driving. So hopefully one day I get to the level where I can do a Shane or something and kind of transfer over to rally. But he had a lot of experience rallying. His old man was a great rally driver. So, I'd love to get my hands on anything. But it's just another one of those things where you can it's a different discipline to learn, and it kind of help you translate and adapt to things.
Well, thanks for joining us, Zach. Best of luck next season in the Super Cheap Auto Wildcard, obviously, and the Eggmobile in Super 2, whatever that happens to be. And I really appreciate you taking the time for a chat.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you very much, boys. I appreciate the time.
Thanks for tuning in to the KTM Summer Grill. With each episode, we are giving away one of these cool KTM goodie bags. Don't miss your chance to win. If you're watching via Speed Cafe, enter your details below. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description.